Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief keeps you informed about what's happening in Annapolis, Arundel County, and Maryland. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and, of course, local weather. Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Thursday, March 7th, 2024. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief presented by Annapolis Subaru and the SPCA of Arundel County. Hey, just a quick note, Bodkin Elementary School is going to be closed for students and staff today due to lack of power and water, which is expected to last throughout most of the day. There will be no instruction for students, so there's that. Anyhow, we do have some news, so let's get into it, shall we? Following up on a story that's been developing over the past few days, Maureen Donovan was released from jail and transferred to the Anne Arundel County Crisis Intervention Team for mental health treatment after spending 13 days incarcerated. She was arrested for entering City Hall, consuming less than $5 worth of food, yes, those were the Hot Pockets, and taking the mayor's gavel, leading to charges including felony burglary. The Annapolis Police Department initially claimed that they offered help to her before arresting her, a claim that was later retracted. Despite her apparent mental health crisis, Donovan was held without bail and restricted from seeing her family. So it is good that she's getting the help that she needs. Residents and social media still feel that the arrest was unnecessary as there was no damage done to City Hall and she did not actually break in, but walked in after somebody, still unnamed, opened the door. There may be one casualty of all this unfortunate incident, and the Baltimore Sun referred to the Annapolis Police Department spokesperson as the former Annapolis Police Department spokesperson. In other news, Maryland's Attorney General Brown and the Consumer Protection Division have issued warnings about misleading election robocalls. Yes, it's starting already. These robocalls, often presenting false information to discourage voting, have been a concern, especially after a recent incident involving a company suspected of discouraging participation in New Hampshire's primary. In the past case, a company was fined over $1 million for similar actions during Maryland's 2010 gubernatorial election. Do you remember that whole, hey, relax, O'Malley's won, no need to go out and vote now? That was the robocall put out by the Ehrlich campaign. Karen Strawn of the Consumer Protection Division emphasized the importance of being vigilant against such calls, advising voters to verify information with their local board of elections and to report potential scams to the Attorney General's office. Lastly, a nationwide survey conducted by Test Prep Insight revealed the most sought-after school districts in the United States. The survey involved 3,000 parents, assessed 250 school districts with preferences given to those in affluent suburbs of major cities. In Maryland, Anne Arundel County Public Schools was ranked the highest among its districts at number 40. Frederick came in at 170, Howard at 171, Carroll at 194, and Montgomery at 220. The survey highlights disparities in educational opportunities and the influence of zoning and funding on school district desirability. We've told you a little bit about Zachary's Jewelers hosting their 13th annual Mother's Day Jewelry Design Contest for 5th grade children all across the county. Well, we popped over to Zachary's and talked with Steve and Constance, and we dropped a very short bonus podcast on that program yesterday. So you want to make sure you give that a listen, especially if you have or know a 5th grader. And if you are a 5th grader or a parent or a guardian of one and you want to enter, the deadline is March 31st, and you can get all of the information at zacharysjewelers.com. Podcast stuff. Up this weekend on the Local Business Spotlight, we're going to be talking with Dr. Freedman from Evolve Direct and Primary all about Ozempic for weight loss and ketamine for depression and anxiety. And in closing, one of the best ways to keep up on the local news is the daily news recap email that goes out at 7 p.m. 366 days this year. It's free and paywall free, and here is a link right here in the show notes to sign up. And please do me a favor and let your friends, family, and colleagues all know about it as well. All right, that is a wrap. As always, thank you for being you, and a thank you to our sponsors for the Daily News Brief. Annapolis Subaru, the SPCA of Anne Arundel County, Solar Energy Services, and Hospice of the Chesapeake. So now you just need to sit back because we have George from DC MDVA Weather with the only locally forecasted weather report you will find. And because it is Thursday, Trevor from Annapolis Makerspace is here with your Annapolis Makerspace Maker Minutes. All of that's coming right up, so hang tight.
Hello, energy consumers. This is Rick Peters, president of Solar Energy Services. Is all this talk of inflation making you uneasy? Me too, especially the uncertainty. How bad will it eat into my future purchasing power? Well, don't feel helpless because solar energy can give you some financial control. By installing and owning your solar system, you can lock out electricity cost inflation by locking in your electricity price for more than 25 years. Many of our inflation-fighting clean energy systems offset 100% of the annual electricity demands. Customers frequently add electric vehicle charging and backup batteries to their solar projects, providing them inexpensive auto fuel and additional energy security for the home. Freeze energy inflation in its tracks by committing to affordable, clean solar energy. Call us today at 410-923-6090 or visit us at solarsaves.net. But don't wait another minute. Sunshine's a wasted.
Sunshine, sunshine, nothing else can make me feel so fine.
When you live near Annapolis, you know how fickle the weather can be. So you need a truly local forecast that's accurate and reliable. Forecast right here in Annapolis. DCMDVA weather is not just for today, but for the rest of the week and the weekend too. Now here's George Young of DCMDVA weather with the weather outlook for today and beyond.
Hey everyone, this is George with DCMDVA Weather, and this is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Thursday, March 7th. More rain fell across the Annapolis region yesterday, as expected, and more is on the way this weekend, primarily Saturday, with nice conditions ahead next week. Look for mostly cloudy skies today, with breezy highs in the upper 50s or lower 60s, to be followed by mixed skies Friday with highs 55 to 60 degrees. From there, the expectation is for more rain Saturday with temperatures in the mid-50s or so, 4 p.m. highs with sunny and breezy skies, returning Sunday with temperatures in the low to mid-50s for afternoon highs as we spring forward into daylight saving time. As for next week, it'll be cool and breezy again on Monday with more mid-50s ahead of sunshine and low to mid-60s both Tuesday and Wednesday. Okay, that's it for today. This is George Young of DCMDVA Weather. Make it a great day out there today. Stay healthy and be safe. And be sure to follow DCMDVA Weather on Facebook and X for updates throughout each day, along with the website at dcmdvaweather.info, so you can always stay weather informed.
Coping with advanced illness can be overwhelming, and determining the best options for a loved one isn't always so easy. But here at Hospice of the Chesapeake, your hometown hospice, we want you to know you do have a choice. You can choose exactly who provides the care and the type of care you receive, and it's your decision when and where your loved one receives that care. We have served our community, family, and friends for over 40 years. We are there when you need us. Learn how we can help at hospicechesapeake.org.
Every week, makers, crafters, and educators hold events all over the area. Highlighting some of those, here's our Maker Minutes, brought to you by Annapolis Makerspace.
Hey, this is Trevor from Annapolis Makerspace with this week's Maker Minutes. At Chesapeake Lightcraft in Annapolis, they have a few boat building classes coming up in March and April. One building a sassafras canoe, one for teardrop campers, one for Jimmy skiffs, and another one for Annapolis wherries, with more classes coming up in later months. At Wolf and the Wolf in Edgewater, on Saturday they're having a Paint for Paws workshop with the Aussie Rescue of the Mid-Atlantic. At Knits and Pieces off of Bestgate Road, Saturday, check out their second Saturday skills class with Unraveling Ravelry. Then on Monday there's Introduction to Sweater Knitting, as well as a Learn to Knit class. And registration is open for their Socks 101, Intermediate Sweater Knitting, and their Magic Loop classes, coming up in March and April. At the Creative and Performing Arts of South County in Edgewater, Saturday, check out their Puzzle Collage workshop. At Blended Essentials in Severna Park, registration is still open for their summer camp starting in June. Camps include making candles, soaps, bath bombs, lotions, and more, and each camp has a different theme. At Whole Foods in Annapolis, today their Half Pint Kids Club is doing healthy banana splits, with one session at 11 a.m. and another at 1 p.m. Then on Tuesday, the Half Pint Kids Club is doing sun butter and jelly sushi. But also, tomorrow, check out Pass the Cheese Please, an exploration of cheese with Chef Alba. Over at Local by Design, on Saturday, check out their Fused Glass Garden Steak workshop. At Art Farm in Annapolis, tonight is Needling the Night Away, a monthly sewing circle, a social hangout for sewing, crocheting, knitting, and other fiber arts. Also tonight, they have nude figure drawing. Then on Saturday, their First Exposure digital photography workshop starts up again, as well as a Pasanki workshop, working with Ukrainian egg dyeing. Their Winter Kids Art semester is still rolling along, with with a bunch of kids' art school sessions, one today for ages 9 through 11, one on Saturday for ages 6 through 8, and two on Monday, one for ages 6 through 8 and another for ages 4 through 5. And some other kids' art classes coming up. Today there's mixed media for ages 10 through 13. Monday there's beat making with machine for ages 10 through 15, starting a new session. Tuesday there's pencil, chalk, ink, and watercolor for ages 10 through 13, as well as the experimental art club for ages 10 through 13. And registration is open for workshops like more beat making and digital cartooning, as well as beginner block printing, a paper flower workshop, needle felting, and other classes. At the Arundel County Public Library System this week, today Odenton has a Georgia O'Keeffe-inspired paint night, Glen Burnie has a Thursday night art club, and Bush Annapolis has sewing basics. Tomorrow, Discoveries, the library at the mall, has a pre-K art party, and Glen Burnie has a Lego club. On Saturday, Maryland City has Science Saturday with sound effects. Edgewater has 5 steps to a native garden with a master gardener. Mountain Road has Paint Like Helen Frankenthaler, and Bush Annapolis has Flicks with Sticks, working on fiber arts or watching the movie On the Basis of Sex. On Monday, Bush Annapolis is doing a Little Artist Workshop. Edgewater has Little Engineers Constructive Play. Deal has their Nature Explorers Club. And Odenton is doing Beginning Crochet. On Tuesday, it's Glen Burnie's turn to have the Little Engineers Constructive Play. Bush Annapolis has Sewing Basics for homeschoolers. And Severn has an open craft night. And then on Wednesday, Severna Park has a Lego Challenge. Bush Annapolis has the Nature Explorers Club. Crofton has a basic robotic workshop with Anne Arundel County 4-H Youth Development. And Eastport Annapolis Neck has their cookbook club, working on vegetarian dishes this time. And over at Unallocated Space in Severn, tonight is their virtual happy hour online. Saturday is a miniature painting day. Sunday they have the Maryland Area Combat Robotics Club, doing Raging March Madness. Monday is their project night. Wednesday they have a Locksport night with Maryland Tool. And Wednesday is also their weekly open house. If you have any questions about the Annapolis Makerspace, the Maker Minutes, or any of these events, feel free to contact me at trevor@makeannapolis.org. And you can find links to all of these events at the Annapolis Makerspace website, also at makeannapolis.org. And whether you're making art, software, sawdust, or just a mess, chances are you're already a maker. This has been Trevor from Annapolis Makerspace with this week's Maker Minutes.
Have you ever had to wait to get an appointment at the Apple Store? Skip the wait and the line at the mall by visiting Mac Medics in Severna Park or Lanham, where appointments are not necessary. Mac Medics is an Apple-authorized service provider. Mac Medics services all Apple devices, including broken iPhone screens and batteries, and all without an appointment. Most iPhone repairs are complete the same day and usually within a few hours. Mac Medics is also an Apple-authorized reseller and sell Apple products at the same price as the Apple Store. Visit Mac Medics in Severna Park or Lanham for Apple-authorized sales and service and shop local. Don't wait for help. Call Mac Medics at 410-757-MAX, which is 410-757-6227. It's 410-757-6227. Or visit them online at macmedics.com. You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues, this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis and Anne Arundel County. And don't forget about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. And make sure you follow us on Facebook at All Annapolis and on Twitter at Eye on Annapolis. This Daily News Brief podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 6 a.m.